And one topic I want to get to while BJ is on, but I want to kick it to JD first, and then this is how we will we'll close it out. JD, and I'm sure BJ did too. Did you guys watch Blood and Guts last night? And what were your thoughts on the match?
I'll go first. It was all right. I mean, like, it was silly. It was stupid. I'm entertained by the AEW. I think the AEW plunder matches always come off to me a little bit more violent and dangerous than the WWE ones, so I typically like them more. I liked the chair shot to Jungle Boy's head because it's not my head. What do I care? You know? I thought the end was anticlimactic when Darby was going to light Jack on fire. Although we did see that has been established that Jack Perry can get lit on fire.
Only when you've been doused with an oil and a film that protects your skin.
No, he was getting doused again, so maybe. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I thought the match was really good. I thought the crowd just absolutely erupted for Swerve. I think they finally got Swerve into a spot where he feels like the guy. I thought Mark Briscoe had a coming out moment, which I think his positioning in the company, I think, works out well with these rumors of ROH getting some shine, him still being the ROH champion. I just didn't like. I mean, I thought it was fine for what it was. A lot of logic gaps, but I don't know. War Games always had logic gaps, even going back to the Dusty matches. So I mean, like, it was. I didn't like the ending, but I thought the match was fine.
Yeah. How about you, BJ?
I gotta echo JD. I thought it was funny in spots. I thought it was a good match. I thought Mark Briscoe came off as a star. I think this is a guy who's just always been a mega level talent, and he's never really got a chance to show it. I think a lot of it was because of how people, kind of stereotyped him and his brother. But he's just a guy who can flat out wrestle, loaded with charisma and energy. And he was the star of the match. I mean, some of the things I enjoyed, I don't know if it actually happened because when I was watching the replay, my TV kind of gave out. But I think there was a spot where, Obama's trying to, or no, Obama. God, I'm tired. Sorry. Okada was, he's trying to get over this a-hole gimmick so badly. And he's like, I guess he tried to do a Rainmaker, then caught Briscoe in between the legs. And then somebody was writing about it. So I was like, well, that's something I wish I could go back and see because it sounds funny. But the Swerve, I thought the thing they also did very, very well was that they made Swerve a huge deal.
Yeah.
Like, he was even a bigger deal than Hangman. Like, when he got into the match, everything changed. It was 5-on-1, and he came out on top of that. And he's really becoming a strong champion. He's really becoming a star. That's one thing I think they've done well with him. And I think one thing it's attributed to that is because he's with Hangman. And Hangman's their best character. He's the protagonist, as I like to call him. And I think at some point they'll all have to, figure their demons out and be joint baby faces, I hope. But and hopefully that happens sooner than later.
Should that be the all-in match, JD? Should that have been the all-in match?
No, I don't think so, because I think you got Danielson. I wish Danielson cared about this match, quite frankly. On paper, it makes sense to go with Swerve and Bryan Danielson because you're trying to sell tickets. Bryan Danielson's a legend working toward retirement. I just wish we had a guy who actually gave a flying fuck about winning a title. That's something I can't figure out. I mean, like, I think that Hangman and Swerve has become like the second biggest feud in the history of the company, with Mox and Kenny Omega being the first.
Yeah.
So I think that it's reached that levels. Mike, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to have a Kazuchika Obama T-shirt in our store. I'm gonna need that.
If I could, thing. Yeah, if I could get someone that can merge Obama and Okada into like a picture, like, and then we can do Kazuchika Obama. I think that would be killer. You could tell that BJ, like, during the day is like covering politics, and then he's got to come talk on to two wrestling idiots at night.
Well, I can't wait to see your Kamala Harris T-shirt along with it. That should be great.
Oh my God, we can do a whole line of stuff, dude. We do know a guy who teaches Photoshop at the high school level. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, someone mentioned that Hulk Hogan did. Hulk Hogan went to the RNC because he didn't have to mess with Kamala again. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's Kamala, but that's still funny.
Still funny. Still works.
But, which but yeah, I think Yeah, I think the All-In build's been. I really don't like Danielson's attitude through all this. I know he's trying to be himself and all that, but he's got to show more. I mean, maybe this is part of how they're working this main event. I don't know, but I mean, with Swerve, I think it's important. I mean, because obviously, I think they're going to put the belt on Danielson, and I think that if they don't and they keep it on Swerve, it doesn't help him at all if Danielson doesn't give a damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't help Swerve at all. He's got to be up for this in character, and maybe this is something they're doing as a storyline. Maybe we'll figure it out. Maybe he sneaks into Danielson's house and starts dropping T-shirts on, in his kids' rooms. I don't know.
I'd watch that.
But which I hated that. I mean, I love the angle that came out of that. I hated that at first. It was cheesy garbage, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens.
King of the North has a good point from the chat. He said he thinks the girls have kind of carried the build to the pay-per-view. And I gotta say,
absolutely.
Man, I don't think he's that far off. If at all, I feel like Mariah May and Toni Storm, and then of course Britt Baker and Mercedes Mone, who now has Camille Brickhouse in her corner as like her heavy, who I really loved in Beverly Hills Cop 2. I thought she was great.
Did you see those two at Comic-Con today?
No,
I did not know.
Oh, Camille was dressed as Bane, and Mercedes was dressed as I can't think it was Joker maybe, I don't know. They kind of did a cosplay and raided the AEW press conference, and they got into a fight with Britt, and then Tony Khan said he had enough of them and said that he's going to put him in the match at All In, and Mercedes did her heel thing where she said, "I told you she's the one person I won't wrestle," and the crowd loved it, but
I love it.
This is something that needs to be held. What's carried this company storyline-wise the last 4 or 5 months has been the women. Willow and Chris was great. Toni and Mariah has been built perfect, especially when they brought in Mina. That was a real heel turn. That was a very good real heel turn. That's how you do a heel turn.
Yeah.
You don't do it halfway. You go all the way. You do it bad. You make them a bad guy. And also Britt and Mercedes are just, people are chomping at the bit for that. I mean, you get outside of that, what else is hot in that company storyline-wise? It's just Swerve and Hangman.
Yeah.
Couple things.
We have a fact checker. We have a fact checker in the chat. Io said that she was Poison Ivy. So Poison Ivy from from the Batman universe.
Hold on.
I don't read comic books.
I do.
JD, he's going to educate us.
Yes. So Bane and Poison Ivy is a reference to Batman and Robin, the worst film ever made as far as mainstream movie goes.
Is that the George Clooney one?
That would be the George Clooney one.
Yeah. Okay, so, I saw that at 4 a.m. one night.
I saw it opening night and was excited, and I've never been more disappointed in my life.
Yeah, Clooney took down the Batman universe, and then he took down the Biden presidency, man. That guy is out for blood. Sorry, go ahead.
He's the Terminator, man.
Yeah.
So big no on that. So Mike, I have to make an apology because I have been hard on Pepperman, and she not only have the girls carried. Not only have the girls carried this promotion for a bit now, but it turns out she is also the advocate of one Mark Briscoe in the back. So because I know I've been hard, I have to tip my bandana to one Jennifer Pepperman. She has adjusted her style to what AEW likes. There's still too much sports entertainment in this company for my personal liking, but from what I gather, she is not the problem. So kudos to Miss Pepperman.
Well, we can still hate on Jimmy Jacobs.
They've had was
fuck Jimmy Jacobs.
Going back a couple, that guy. But a lot of the success they had started a few years ago. I mean, BJ Whitman got fired from there, was working with the women, and at the time they were looking for a producer who would just take them more seriously. So, and working with him, they were able to be more creative. They were able to get more things done. They were able to trust themselves, work things into the matches, and they kind of built off that. And I guess Toni Storm, a lot of people RJ City's getting a lot of credit for Toni Storm's gimmick, but I guess this is something she's had an idea for a long time. I mean, Tony Khan's even taken some credit for it, but I think Tony's actually the one that actually originated it. But I mean, if you look at that lineup, Queen, I mean, the women are really carrying that promotion, and I think I think Mercedes was the moment where they're kind of like, you know what, Rio drew well for us. Ashita drew well for us. Nyla's a great heel. Thunder Rosa was great. They did great. She had that amazing feud with Britt Baker where they ended it in a lights out match. They kind of like took women's wrestling in a new direction, but they didn't embrace it. And I think now they're finally embracing it, and it's been rewarding for them. At least, hopefully they keep doing it.
Yeah, and as much as I love to sit here and compliment AEW, this really is going to tank our numbers. Our show is going to be
Here's what you got to do. Here's what we got
bad.
No, here's what we got to do. Mike, you're going to have to lie on the show description.
Yeah. So, guys, if you just see me using an unflattering face of Tony Khan, you know that our show is too positive because we really are going to take the numbers on these clips. Although I think the AEW TV deal stuff will play very well for us. But hey, we are over the 1 hour mark, so we're going to go ahead and get off here. Everybody go to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show. I have a whole list of free agency news and topics that I want to talk about. Now, I actually did an article about all the latest and greatest free agency news from earlier in the week. I put that article on patreon.com/Mike and JD Show for free, so you can check that out for free. But JD and I are actually going to talk about all the upcoming free agents, big names, who's signing new contracts, who's going where, and all that stuff. Head to patreon.com/The Mike and JD Show for overtime. I'm not going to wait till Sunday to release it. I'm going to release it right away because I think it's topical. So we're going to get to that. Hey, BJ, why don't you go ahead and throw some plugs out there? Let's plug SE Scoops and wherever we can see your writing.
Visit SE Scoops. We got a lot of stuff on there. You can go back. I wrote an article today on the latest filings in the Janelle Grant lawsuit. That's kind of been my main story. Really, that's kind of the only thing I'm worried about covering right now. But if you want interested in the latest on that, I have some filing. I have a report on that, some of the findings that's going on the last couple of weeks. Also, I'm on Twitter if you want to ask questions or anything like that. You can ask me about anything. I'm a fountain of knowledge of worthless stuff. So hit me up. Hit me up if you want to know something that's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form.
Awesome. Well, thanks, BJ. All right, everybody, we're going to get out of here. Chat, thank you. Sorry I did not get to most of your chats because we were on a roll, and I do. Hey, man, I got a 20-minute promo.
Well, I take blame. I got a big mouth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's why you're great on the show. We need someone that actually can hold their own in a conversation. But all right, guys, that is going to do it for us this week. And until next time, mahalo.
Competition starting to get thick. It's the click